Shalom, brothers and sisters. Grace, mercy, and peace be unto you from Yahuwah. He's our Father. And Yahusha. He is the Mashayah, the one that carries the burden of Yah. His voice, our high priest, soon coming king. Hear, O Yeshurun, Yahuwah, who is our mighty one. He is one. This is Brother David coming to you again to bring you the return of the King. This is part 2. And the time of the Gentiles is finished. Praise, glory, wisdom, thanks be unto he who is seated upon the throne and unto the Lamb. Let me make a proclamation to you today. There is no mighty one but Yahuwah, and Yahusha is his prophet. Our brothers, our cousins, our ancestors that are still in the promised land have blotted out the name that is above all names. There's a simple reason for that. He did not choose them. So they chose to serve another. In their books, in their shuras, in their Quran, it tells you that the sacred book, the one that came down from heaven, was given to only one group of people, the children of Yeshurun. In that book, it contains a name, the name that is above all names, Yahuwah, and they chose to ignore it and call upon another. Let's begin. Ezekiel, chapter 25, verses 12 to 14. Verse 12. Thus says Yahuwah, the Almighty. It's time to pay attention. The master of the universe, the creator of all things, he who is seated upon the throne, is speaking. Because of what Edom did against the house of Yahudah by taking vengeance, and has greatly offended by avenging itself on them. Verse 13. Therefore, here's the edict. Here's the penalty. It's coming from the heavens, out of the mouth of Yahuwah, the Almighty. Therefore, thus says Yahuwah the Almighty, I will also stretch out my hand against Edom, cut off man and beast from it, and make it desolate. From Teman and Dedan shall fall by the sword. He's given us a location here. He put Edom and the locations of Teman and Dedan in the same sentence. Verse 14. I will lay my vengeance on Edom by the hand of my people, Yeshurun. Who's he going to use? Our ancestors, our brethren, those who were under the altar. It's 144,000 of them. They cried out, how long, O great and mighty Yah, before you avenge us? Well, the time has come. that they may do in Edom according to my anger, Yahuwah's anger, according to my fury, Yahuwah's fury, and they shall know my vengeance. You've taken vengeance upon my little ones, said Yahuwah. Now you shall know my anger, my fury, my vengeance, says Yahuwah, the Almighty. Jeremiah, Yareme Yahu, chapter 49, verses 7 to 9. Verse 7, listen to the proclamation. The master of the universe, the creator of all things, he who is seated upon the throne is speaking again. Verse 7, against Edom, thus says Yahuwah of hosts. Is there no more wisdom in Teman? He's mentioning this same area. Again, this specific locale. He said, has the wisdom perished from Teman? Has counsel perished from the prudent? Has their wisdom vanished? Verse 8, run, turn back, dwell in the depths, O inhabitants of Dedan. For I is Yahuwah, will bring the calamity of Esau, Shaul, upon him, the time that I will punish him. Verse 9, if the grape gatherers came to you, would they not have left some gleaning grapes? You know, the ones that fall to the ground. If these thieves by night, would they not destroy until they had enough? Note, here again the Father has put Edom, Shaul, in the same sentence with two locations, Tema and Dedan. Verse 10, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. Let's stop for a moment. He gave you the location. Tema and Dedan. Is that in Europe? Is it in America? Wherever this location is where Esau, Shaul, Edom dwells. Who uncovered them? Yahuwah. So if Yahuwah is telling you where they're at, how is it that you're going to listen to some brothers who are telling you that Esau is the white man? This is a family dispute. These are our relatives. If you come from the east, if you are from Shum, so are they. If you are from Abraham, so are they. Where would they be located? They're in the promised land. They're not like us. They had no covenant or contract with the Father. Yahuwah did not choose them. He chose us. He only chose one group of people for himself. Let's continue. His descendants are plundered, his brethren and his neighbors, and he is no more. This is the end of Shaul. He is finished here. Who did it? Yahusha came with his band of 144,000 of those who have received their new bodies. They can fall on the sword, and they will not die. They came in and took vengeance on our ancient enemies, on our relatives. They had to be removed from the land. Verse 11. But leave your fatherless children. I, Yahuwah, I will preserve them alive. And let your widows trust in me. The widows of these cousins of ours that were destroyed shall turn to us. They shall turn to Yahuwah. They shall keep his commandments. They shall serve us willingly. There's no force here. They shall come begging on bended knee for us when we return to the land to take them as our servants. And the children, they shall be our servants. They shall grow up knowing how to build our houses, plant our fields from generation to generation to generation. Verse 12. For thus says Yahuwah, behold, those whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunk. They were not supposed to do what they did to us. They were not supposed to drink of this cup. They were supposed to serve us, the children of Edom, Ishmael, and all the rest. But instead, because they were not the head, they were jealous, and they decided to take vengeance upon us. And are you the one who will altogether go unpunished? I say no. You shall not go unpunished, but you shall surely drink of it. Verse 13. For I have sworn by myself. Note, is there anyone else that he could swear to and use their name? Everything stops with him. He is the master of the universe, the creator of all things, he who is seated upon the throne. There is no one above him. He can only swear by himself, says Yahuwah, that Basra, here's another location, shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse. And all its cities shall be perpetual waste. This comes down from heaven. Can you change it? No. You can say silly things like Esau is the white man. The white man has a different end, and this is not it. Psalms 137, verses 7 to 9. Verse 7. Remember, O Yahuwah. The psalmist wants the Most High himself to remember an event. The children of Edom in the day of Yerushalayim, he wants the Most High to remember them. What did they do? They said, raise it even to the foundation thereof. What are they talking about? They're speaking of the temple of Yahuwah. They said, burn it even to the foundation thereof. They joined with Babylon against the children of Yasharal. Verse 8. O daughter of Babylon, he's speaking about Edom, who art designated to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewards you as you have rewarded us. Wow, that's a lot of vengeance. Verse 9. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth your little ones against the stones. That's our brothers. The 144,000 that shall return with Yahusha. They're not coming back to hold hands, to sing Negro spirituals. They're coming back to take vengeance. It shall be bloody. They shall dash the little ones' heads against the stones, just like they did to us. Here's the location. I found two ancient maps that are almost identical. Look at the first one, ancient Near Eastern towns in Ezekiel's time. Look, Timah and Dedan. Look to your right. The ancient Near East in Jeremiah's time. Look what I have circled. Timah and Dedan. Look at the location. It's Arabia. Today it is called Saudi Arabia. Look at the location of these two places. It is close to their places of worship. The Father said that he's going to bring destruction upon these locales. They shall fall by the sword. The 144,000 shall dash their little ones against the stones for what they have done to the children of Yasharal. Here's another map that I found. I thought this one interesting for all of those who are new and do not understand how to uncover truth and dismiss with lies. Look at the map. They have Timon and Basra in Canaan. Edom is towards the south. It's not in Canaan. The two maps, the ancient maps that you saw before, are in Saudi Arabia. Look where it says Saudi Arabia. Do you see it there? So Timon and Dedan would be in the same locations as what you see on this map, Medina and Mecca. Look at Basra. It's over in Iraq. Do you see it there spelled Basrah? Still to this day. I believe that's the Basra that he's speaking of. He uses Babylon, Edom, and Basra in the same text. Everything that we're looking for is not in Europe. Dismiss with the Europeans. Esau is not the white man. The Father uncovered their secret places. And here he's showing it to you today on these maps. Now here's a modern map. There's your Medina, there's your Mecca, and there's the Saudi Arabia right there in the middle. Timon, Medina. Mecca, oh my goodness. Dedan. Aren't those in Dedan, aren't they going to fall by the sword? What about Teman? I will also stretch out my hand against Edom. He's told you where they are. And I will cut off man and beast from it. And I will make it desolate. From Medina to Mecca, they shall fall by the sword. Who said it? Yahuwah. You can try to change it. You can go into cognitive dissonance and try to explain it away. But this shall come to pass. He is going to exact vengeance. And it's going to be in their places of worship. Psalms 83, verses 1 to 4. Listen to what the psalmist is asking of the Most High. Verse 1. Keep not silent, O Mighty One. Hold not your peace, and be not still, O Mighty One. Verse 2. For behold, the psalmist is saying, look, O Mighty One, your enemies. I wonder who that is. They're making a ruckus. They're making a commotion. They're having celebrations. They're making blasphemous statements. There is no mighty one but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. And those who hate you, they hate the Most High. And the reason that they hate him is because he did not choose them. He chose us. They have lifted up their heads now. They're in control. Our people have been serving them. Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against your people. You see, the Father has his own people. The people who are his enemies are not his people. There's only one group of people on this whole planet that he has chosen for himself. And he tells you that over and over and over in the text. And they are the children of Yesharal, and have consulted together against your sheltered ones. That's your hidden ones. Where did he hide us? Where were we sheltered? In the west coast of Africa. These same people came in. They said, Yehudis over there in the west coast of Africa. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Let's take out Israel. There's a people today called Israel. So that's not the name. They have a land that they created in the promised land, and they call it Israel. They call themselves Israelites or Israelis. It is improper for you, brothers and sisters, to call yourself Israel, Israelite, or anything to do with is. Do you understand? There is no such name in the Bible, period. The Europeans have put it there in their transliteration, but they always give you the false names. The name of Yah's people, his sheltered ones, is Yesharal. You see Yah's name in the beginning? That is the name that has been cut off. Tell somebody that you're one of the children of Yesharal. They will have no clue what you're speaking about. Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They form a confederacy against you. Who is you? Yahuwah. They could not reach him who is seated upon the throne. So they said, we're going to take vengeance against his chosen ones. Verse 6. Here's the list. The tents of Edom and the Ishmaelites. They are the leaders. Did you know Ishmael had 12 sons? 12 tribes? All of those who believe in Islam called themselves Ishmael. Moab. Moab is from Lot. The Hagrites. Hagar. Gibel, Ammon, Amalek, our ancient enemy, the Philistines. Hey, with the whole inhabitants of Tyre. That's Damascus. In verse 8, Assyria also has joined with them. They have helped the children of Lot, Moab, to do what? To destroy us. Selah. When I was in Bible school, they told us that Selah means contemplate on that. Think about that. The psalmist is speaking to the Most High, and he's regurgitating all of the crimes of our family members and the people whom they joined with in the land to destroy us. And he's asking the Father, think about that. Deal with them as with Midian, as with Sisera, as with Jabin at the brook of Kishon. Verse 10. Who perished at Endor, who became his refuse, fertilizer on the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeb. Yes, all their princes like Zebah and Zalmunna. Who said, let us take for ourselves the pastures of Yah for a possession. In order to do that, they had to remove Yah's people. All of the people mentioned here were utterly destroyed. This is the outcome that we're looking for. When the Messiah returns with the 144,000, he has to cleanse the land of all of those who hate Yahuwah. They're on his land, and they hate him. That's why the Father has sent Yahusha. He shall be the landlord and the King of kings, but he shall represent him who is seated upon the throne. Edom's crimes. There's my email address if you have any questions. They tried to block the burial of Jacob, the one we call Jacob in the Bible, whose name was changed to Yesharu. Did you know about that? Joseph was there. They were coming home to bring their patriarch, our father, to bury him in the tombs of his ancestors. And Edom said, no. There was a war that broke out. They blocked our return from Egypt. When Masha was bringing us back into the land, he went to them and he simply asked, can we walk through your land? We won't drink your water. We won't eat any of your food or touch any of your fields. We just want to walk through to get to our ancestral home. Edom said no. So we had to walk all the way around. Once we got into the land, they joined with the Greeks. You can find that in the book of Maccabees. Yeah. They were there when the Greeks sacrificed pigs on the altar. They were the ones who told the Greeks, if you want to take away their power, take away their temple, their sacrifice, the Shabbats, the feast days, and the law, and you can overtake them. And that's exactly what the Greeks did. They built their own temple in the north. The temple that Yahusha said, there will not be one stone standing upon another. It shall be totally annihilated. The temple that Herod the Great built, he was an Edomite. Did you not know that, brothers and sisters? That is not Yah's temple. Yah's temple is towards the south. They put Yahusha to death. Who did you think the Sanhedrin was? Who did you think the chief priest was? Remember who was sitting on the throne in the land? Herod the Great, an Edomite. He chose all of the officials in the temple. Did you think he was going to choose the children of Yasharel, Edom's enemy, the ones that they hate the most, the ones that they wanted to remove the yoke from their neck? So they joined in with the Europeans here, the Romans, and they put Yahusha to death. Yahusha told you who they were. He said that they were a brood of vipers, that their father is the devil. Come on, those are all clues to let you know that the people whom he was speaking of were not the children of Yasharel, because the children of Yasharel's father is Jacob or Yasharel. They found us in Africa's west coast and sold us out to the Europeans. This is history. We fought wars against these people. But when the Europeans gave them guns, they overpowered us. And there we were all led away captive. They took some to their lands. The Europeans loaded up their ships and took us around the world. The largest forced migration, the largest kidnapping, and the word is kidnapping, brothers and sisters, ever seen before in the history of this planet. And yet, our people, with all of this information that is there, and everything is right before our face, and when you open this book, you can see yourself in it, they still refuse to accept who they are. I hear our people calling themselves Gentiles. We call ourselves everything but the children of Yasharel. We'll even call ourselves Israelites. Still in denial of our ancestry. It's time to wake up. Our brother's coming in the clouds with power and great glory. The kingdom suffered violence, and the violent took it by force. But the Messiah is coming back to use more force and to take the kingdom for the children of Yasharel. Continue to part 3. Shalom.